I'm proud to stand with you today on behalf of gun owners of Vermont and every freedom-loving person who lives under the flag of Vermont in the shadow of that defiant arm raised by Colonel Ethan Allen on the steps of the State House. To join with you in once again reaffirming your rights as Vermont freemen and women, and to stand defiantly against those who would take away those rights. Let me ask you to imagine something on this cold March day. Suppose it was July 2nd, 1777, and you were one of the delegates called to the Windsor House to decide what to do now that Congress has rejected Vermont's application to become one of the new states. The delegates met in Windsor. They brought before that body the Constitution of the state of Pennsylvania. And before that day was over, they had adopted a Constitution that began with the Chapter 1, defining the rights and the liberties of the people. This was the first paramount thing in their minds before they decided how to elect governors and treasurers and so on, and organize civil government. The first thing was to once again declare the rights and liberties of the people. If you look at that chapter today, unamended since 1777, you'll find section 16, Article 16, which says the people have a right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state. It's obvious that an armed freeman was the only guarantee of a free republic. Not only did you need a firearm to oppose the British redcoats now running down the border from Canada and towards Saratoga, but also Native Americans that have, in living memory, engaged in hostilities against the settlers of Vermont. You had a right to do that, but you also had a right to defend yourself against anything that invaded your home, that threatened your family, that threatened your liberty. And ultimately, the success of a free society depends upon a well-informed and motivated and armed citizenry who at some point will rise and say, you cannot take away the rights that were declared ours by the Constitution. For over a century, Article 16 was tradition because everybody in the 19th century, well, Windsor had it right, and that we have the right to defend ourselves and the state. Well, in 1903, the Council of the City of Rockford had said to carry a firearm within the city limits, you must get the permission of the mayor or the police chief. Why they did this, I don't know, but it was needless to say that the suit found its way to the Vermont Supreme Court. In those days, happily, the Vermont Supreme Court was a body that was dedicated to the Constitution, not to inventing a new Constitution. And in an admirably short and succinct opinion, the court said in that case, the carrying of firearms for one's defense is a fundamental right of a citizen. This ordinance is repugnant to the Constitution and is reversed. Now that's a Supreme Court we could be proud of. I wish we had them back. Well, that statement by the court has gone unchallenged for another 11 years, and that's still good law in this state. If you read that decision, which is only like 6 inches long in the law, it seems perfectly clear to me that the judges are saying, what kind of damn fool would pass an ordinance like that in the state of Vermont? Can't you just read? It didn't spend any time spinning out all the details of them and the reasons that everybody did this. This is crazy. this is repugnant to the Constitution, it is struck down. Okay, well, that's good law, my friends, and that needs to be the guiding principle that animates our legislators and our citizens in the years ahead. Because the defense of law-abiding Vermonters cannot be deprived of their constitutional protections in Chapter 1 of our Constitution any more than they can be deprived of the other protections of press, assembly, worship, and citizenship. Article 16's guarantee of armed citizenry is integral to that constitutional scheme. Its protection is essential to protecting our entire form of government. And I'm so glad to see so many people out here on this windy day to reaffirm that right.